BeerTube. Christian here with an exclusive BeerTube review of 2019 KBS from Founders Brewing Company. Founders is out of Beer City, USA. That's Grand Rapids, Michigan. And this is the 2019 version, the annual release of KBS. Always a big deal every year. This particular version comes in at 12.2 ABV, and it is their Imperial Breakfast Stout, aged for 1 year in bourbon barrels, and also known as Kentucky Breakfast Stout. So since this review is a BeerTube exclusive, I've decided to give you a little bit more. I want to tell you the history of KBS. So here's how it starts. Co-owners Dave Edgenberg and Mike Stevenson reached out in 2002 to the Jack Daniel's distillery wanting to use some barrels. Jack Daniel's agreed as long as the people from Founders came to get it. They weren't mailing them. They weren't delivering them. So Mike and Dave went down and got the barrels out of Kentucky. For the first year, they decided to put their stout in it. Breakfast stout. You know it. It's got the little kid on the front label with the oatmeal bowl in front of it. It's a great stout. But they put it in the barrels. The owners then said, after being in the barrels for 1 year, something magical happened in the barrels. It did require a slight refining the recipe because the bourbon overwhelmed the beer. So they created an Imperial Stout with a high ABV to put in the barrels and did that for the next year. The product becomes KBS. Owners Mike and Dave have said that KBS is a very labor-intensive beer, so it takes a lot to produce KBS. And every year, it's one of their best sellers, which is good because they produce roughly 460,000 barrels of beer every year, go through the barrel age series, but only 5,000 of those are KBS. Now, a few of those other ones go through a little bit of a different, it's the KBS recipe, but it also produces CBS. It's the base beer for CBS, but you know, those barrels are a little different because then they go with the maple bourbon barrels, the maple syrup bourbon barrels. So, I think I've said enough about the beer. It's time to try it. So what I remember of 2018, because I've drank several bottles of it, is that it's got great chocolate notes. There's a bit of a bourbon kick, but not over the top. There is some bourbon heat, and you pick up some of the coffee. Well-balanced, smooth, delicious beer. Good enough for number 2 on my wall. Year 2019, though, about to find it out. So I have the official 2018 glass. I'm going to use that to try out this beer. All right, let's see what we got. Dark as motor oil. This is a very dark beer. My mouth is watering. I love, love, love this beer. Now, what I've heard here early on about this beer is that they brought the bourbon back a little heavier this year, and a lot of people are very pleased with that. So we have a deep, dark beer. Take a look at that with a deep tan head. All right, let's check the light. Nothing. It's so dark, it's reflecting the light at me along the back. Let's see. You can't tell. It's reflecting the light back at me. It is just deep. It is dark. On the nose, I get chocolate. Oh, man. The mouth just started watering. Pick up a little bit of the bourbon on the nose as well, but it's not over the top. It smells chocolatey. It smells malty. It smells delicious. All right, time for it. My first drink of 2019 KBS. Cheers, y'all. So I don't know, is it fair to put 2019 up with the 2018 bottle? I don't know, but this is delicious. So there is a little bit more of a bourbon burn in the back. It's got an amazing, rich maltiness at swallow. You get a little bit of the bourbon, but chocolates and malts, in the aftertaste, the coffee's starting to come in, so you get like a chocolatey coffee flavor just coating the tongue in such a delicious way. I am loving this beer. KBS does not let me down once again. I don't remember what I scored 2018 KBS, but I'm going to put this one right in a dead heat with my number one, which was Amish Crack by Hoplar, and I'm going to go 9.5. 9.5 for 2019 KBS. This is absolutely a delicious beer, and I'm liking the little extra bourbon heat in the back, along with that maltiness, and the aftertaste of that chocolatey coffee flavor is amazing. This is a good beer. All right, so there it is. My first BeerTube exclusive review for one of my favorite beers, KBS. Check it out. It's only available for a limited time. You heard how little of a supply of KBS there is. 5,000 barrels is all that's used to produce this stout. So get it now while you can. It's going to be hard to find throughout the year. All right, Brew Crew, thank you for joining us here on BeerTube. Watch all of our social medias. That's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And don't forget to join us at Lord of the Hops on April 13th from 4 to 7 p.m. in Leesburg, Indiana. That's at Hoplar. Get your tickets at events.ontaptickets.com and use the promo code MBR for Michiana Beer Reviewers. MBR. Get $5 off your tickets. VIP will sell out soon, so get involved. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Cheers.
Hey, Brew Crew, Andy here, coming at you from Harry Count Brewing Company, Byron, Illinois, and I'm here with John, the brewer here. John, thanks very much for having us in.
Absolutely, glad to have you.
And welcoming MBR into your crew. So this is our interview with a brewer series, and so if you don't mind, I've got 5 questions I'd like to ask you.
Okay.
And then I want you to maybe give us a little bit more about what it is that's behind us that you have brewing on as well. So,
Absolutely, sure.
all right. So first question.
Yeah.
What is your favorite beer that is not yours?
There's so much good out there. So love New Glarus. They're
Okay.
close. I love their model. Spotted Cow is a great one.
Yeah.
The first time I had it, I didn't even care for it. I had it way too cold. It was, and I had to finish it really quickly, and then just developed a love for it down the road.
Yeah.
So
Very good. Very good. I love New Glarus too. So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
good stuff.
So what's the first beer you crafted?
First beer I ever made. So my wife bought me a homebrew kit in 2003, and at the time I didn't like cheap beer, and I liked what I liked, and I didn't like what I didn't like, and I really couldn't tell you why. But at the time I liked Sam Adams Cherry Wheat, so I found a little extract kit for Sam Adams Cherry Wheat and made that, and it turned out okay. And so I said, well, this might be good. So I tried another beer. Stout is probably my favorite style.
Yeah.
So I found a clone for a stout and made that and made a complete mess of it. It was horrible. And I'm like, maybe this brewing isn't for me.
Yeah.
So I put it down for a couple of years, and then later in 2010, me and a buddy picked it back up.
Yeah. So you do still brew it then now?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Very cool. So how does your beer connect with the local community?
Gosh. So I love the art and the science behind brewing. I probably love more sharing it with the community and friends and creating space or with either good food or good beer and bringing people together and just doing life together.
Sure.
And so I've been brewing for a while and share with my friends and the local church I work at. And so I always just like creating great stuff and sharing it with people. So I don't know how it actually connects with the community. We try to like to use local ingredients as much as possible, but still maintain consistency. And the goal is good, balanced beer, time after time.
Good. Yeah. That's awesome. Cool. Where can someone watching the video right now pick up Harry Count Brewing?
So right now, the only place you can get it is here. So our model right now has been a brew pub. So my goal is to provide good, solid beer, create a good demand here in the pub, and then fulfill that demand really well. And then once we're able to do that, then fill kegs for local restaurants and bars in the area. And then once we do that and still maintain this, who knows? Maybe down the road, do some distributing.
Very cool. Yeah, very cool. That's awesome. So, last question.
Yeah,
Can I have a beer?
absolutely. Right. It would be a sin not to beer.
Absolutely. So what beer are you going to choose for us to review today?
So if we only can pick one, gosh, I've actually got 5 of our own right now. We've been in a little bit of a beer deficit, so we're brewing like mad to keep up. So we put a Colchon the other day, which is a nice light one. We also have Highland Perry, which is our Belgian IPA. Maybe we'll start with that one. It's kind of what the brewery was built on.
Okay.
And so this is the second revision of that here.
Okay.
Thank you for watching MBR BeerTube. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to ring the notification bell. Don't miss the latest MBR BeerTubes, uploaded every Sunday at noon. Drinking beer is fun, but drinking and driving is not. Please remember, always drink responsibly. Cheers.